Immortal in a defense phase, you have a good chance that your Immortal Stones can connect.
Yeah, for me, the Medivh factor is something that I'm looking forward to. We could see that ban again against Medivh on the first map, Infernal Shrines in particular. We had just a huge impact from Shrimpy here, and he set up so many plays for his team, especially, of course, for Nick on Phoenix, that allowed them to get kills there. So maybe right now, Diamond Skin is looking at this and saying, okay, it might be a different map, might be a bit of a different dynamic, but we still have to ban Phoenix out, Medivh out, but we're going to find out at this point. What is Method going to ban? Do they target Garrosh again, or are we going to see them try and target Rosmek? They go for Rosmek.
Tracer ban, deleted here. And now Diamond Skin bans out the Hanzo to make sure it won't become a first pick.
All right, so no quick Immortal races just yet. Hanzo banned out immediately, leaves Medivh open, but Garrosh is the current choice. Taking it away from Robadoba, now in the hands of Arcana. Diamond Skin have the early 2 picks, and now they can try and set something up here. But again, is Phoenix going to appear here? That's basically my question.
Yeah, if not, I'm expecting the Genji. As Diamond Skin is trying to make
you mean
it
in
work.
that rotation? I meant in the draft in general. I would expect them still to pick Genji here early on. They haven't found a single win with Genji on this map yet. But you have Rosmek in your setup, so you want to give him something that he can work with. And Tracer has taken away. Hanzo is currently also banned out, so Genji seems to be the choice, right?
Yeah, Genji seems to be the pickup for Diamond Skin. And you mentioned Phoenix. The thing is, I actually haven't played Phoenix on this battleground. I don't know if his race is actually that strong. You think in theory, if he goes into his auto turret mode, it would be just fine. He'd be able to poke a little bit, and also with the help of the laser, you could shred it pretty decently. The only issue that I have is that his hitbox is so huge that it might be a little bit weird to kind of dance around the Immortal. Yeah. So I actually need to do a little bit more testing myself to see if it's actually worth it to burn him. I
mean, we have seen him earlier. I don't think that he's necessarily a hero that excels over others on the single target Immortal race. Yeah. But I feel if you want to team fight, then you can still use him. If you get a good ult through. What is it with words today? It's getting insane.
It's Saturday, dude. Saturday they get harder.
I shouldn't drink before casting.
Water?
Yeah.
Shouldn't drink water. Second and third picks about to come up here.
I had my own follow-up line for that, but yeah, thanks for the save.
I got you, man. We're good, we're good. Brew is what they call it in Heroes of the Storm. We're waiting to see if we're going to get that Stukov, actually, from Method. Stukov is someone that I feel like Kirsten doesn't play as often. He can dabble in it a little bit. He seems to prefer other pickups, or at least his team does. He's usually the one picking up the Malfear when it's available.
But with Garrosh, you want to have some combo setup, right? Yeah. And that's where Stukov usually excels. We see it from Team Liquid a lot. But here's Phoenix,
there it is.
Oh, and Stukov, both of them. All right, so nice setup here. So once again, Phoenix. So we don't have a Shrimpy factor just yet, always assuming that Nick is going to be back on Phoenix. Probably the reason why Medivh is immediately being banned out, because this is pretty much the setup that was already used on the first map. Bit of a difference with a healer, but yeah, so Phoenix with Medivh, that would have been the setup that Method relied upon on the Infernal Shrines. So they are taking Medivh away, not on the first ban position this time, but on the second. But yeah, what is Shrimpy going to play here? Genji banned out. And that's actually the reason why I expected Genji to be taken early, because I'm not surprised that Method bans it out. I don't think Johanna is really first pick worthy here.
I don't either. Because how do you get on that Phoenix? You have Johanna, who has some pretty rough initiation. Granted, she can go for flanks, and you have the busted shield. So that might work out. I mean, Thrall is definitely an option if he can get the flanks. But Phoenix needs to have some pressure going his way. So there's Thrall.
And Li Ming.
Yeah, Li Ming for a little bit of race there.
But yeah, Johanna for me is just simply not first pick worthy. She's not, I'm not saying she's necessarily bad here, especially if you have a comfort pick on her, then you can take her on battlefield. You also have, of course, a shield glare that you can use when you try to slow down your opponent's race a bit, and they are heavily dependent on auto attacks. But the high priority, that just surprises me a bit. I think she could have been a bit of a later pick, and even if she gets banned out, which I wouldn't really assume, then you have so many good alternatives here. So at this point, Diamond Skin has to face the music, and Method already have the Phoenix. What's going to be Shrimpy's pick?
That is the question. Shrimpy.
I mean, he wants to have these high-impact heroes, and he has done a lot with Hanzo in the last map, but a lot of the heroes that we've seen him on have already been taken apart. We also still need the offlaner. There's also still a chance that Shrimpy and Nick have a bit of an overlapping hero pool on Phoenix, and Shrimpy is jumping on Phoenix now, whereas Nick goes onto a different one. Could jump in onto a mage here, for example.
What's the hero?
There's the offlaner.
And there's the Blaze. And Junkrat. Will be the pickup for Method.
Alright. Yeah, nice displacement. 2 now. Junkrat and Garrosh for displacement. And then a Phoenix for the added damage outside of Junkrat's grenades.
And big bulky bodies to hold down that front line, make sure nothing comes towards them. They can also tank a little bit of damage from the Li Ming to make sure the race doesn't go too heavily in favor of Diamond Skin.
Yeah, really sustainable, and just making sure that Li Ming doesn't get these resets.
Yeah. Bunker to make sure to stop that too. So final pickup coming in from Diamond Skin. What are you going to show us, Diamond Skin? You got Thrall, you got Li Ming already, got a decent front line. What is your initiation though? Are you going to really rely on just Thrall coming in for the flanks for Phoenix?
I mean, around the Sundering, they could definitely try and make that work, as long as they get a good Sundering setup and Li Ming combos on it, if they commit that kill. But yeah, a bit more damage on their part would probably be something that they would really like to have here. I like what Method has. I think Diamond Skin is already in a pretty weird spot here.
Cassia Valkyrie. Let's go.
Alarak.
Ooh. Is that a Dark Box special?
Seems to be. I was thinking about Alarak for a second, and then my head went immediately like, nah.
Nobody blames you if you say out the wrong things. It's okay, Caldor. You can do it. Next time you got a little bit of an inkling of weird things, just toss it out there. Let it happen.
I'm currently just thinking about why I jumped to Alarak. I think I talked to someone just yesterday about him. It's actually interesting because Ethereal, for example, is one of the players that always wanted, like, he likes Alarak to play him, and he always wanted to bring him in, and he feels there are certain combos where he fits, and he wanted to showcase that, and that was not only in, that was mainly 2017 towards the end. But he never really found that moment when he could say, okay, this is really where Alarak shines to an extent where it's worthy picking him over a different hero.
Yeah.
So you have a couple of players that definitely favor certain heroes that they are trying to bring out when they can, but oftentimes there are just better alternatives that they are trying to go for. But you've been talking about initiation, and that's something that you can set up here. So there's a lot of combo potential that we now have around an Alarak combo with Thrall locking someone down, Li Ming capitalizing on it. So there's definitely quite a bit that can happen here. But if Method dances around Alarak long enough, they should be able to get good damage in here. And Method is currently seeming to be pretty strong in this series. We're heading into game number 3. It could be the last map of this series, as Method has the 2-0 lead over their opponent starting here at the left side. We have Diamond Skin with Wolf Joe on Malfurion. We see Dartmok on Alarak, Nanda on Thrall, Johanna played by Robodoba, and Li Ming played by Rosquack.
To the right, Method. Schwimpy playing Junkrat, Curson on Stukov, Arcana on Garrosh, Athuro to play Blaze, and Nick on Phoenix. And don't forget about the defensive capabilities of an Alarak player, especially on this battleground. The ability to drop down the telekinesis into a stun on the Immortal can result in kills quickly. And remember, if he gets stacked up on his trait, Alarak, he chunks people.
Yeah, and Alarak is played for the first time in HGC Europe in 2018. That means that we have now, in 2018, seen 59 different heroes played in Europe alone. Not even accounting for what's being played in China, North America, and Korea.
The new hero coming in here, Alarak, showing him off against the Phoenix. And that's actually kind of interesting. Phoenix versus Alarak. Dartmok should be able to get pretty decent combos in. Now he's choosing to move into the Lightning build here. With the level 1 pickup, he's moving into Extended Lightning, which of course at first will reduce his trait a little bit, but once you stack up a few times, you can get your damage moving in there, and you also get that slow to come in. The range, mostly more important too.
Yeah, Nick is still working at that AoE. Oh, Wolf Joe is actually finding himself in a bit of an awkward spot thanks to the displacement that we saw there. Doesn't lead to a kill, but definitely puts him into a precarious situation for just a few seconds. We still have that top lane battle, of course, between Thrall and Blaze, but down here, the 4-man action is still continuing. Schwimpy gets condemned, but also that puts Robodoba in an awkward spot, and thanks to the silence, he can't even use his trade here. Uses it on the last moment, but the rotation happens from the top lane, and Blaze is putting the pressure onto Dartmok. No kill yet. Thero needs to move back top to catch the experience, but already aggression here, and a lot of it from Method.
That was certainly pretty darn close. Now Thrall's going to push in the top lane and try to deny if Thero getting that experience they may have missed on him. Another combo on Robodoba. Condemn comes out.
There's just heroes flying everywhere from the left to the right, push to the top, stunned out there. Then it comes a concussion mine, and all of a sudden Junkrat pushes someone else out. Robodoba, Garrosh flips someone in. Diamond Skin has to be really careful about this. Telekinesis even, displacement galore.
It's like they're walking on trampolines, just being tossed up and down. Method was setting up for another fight. I like how they're also spreading out too, making sure that level 1 doesn't get too many stacks. Arcana goes for another combo on Robodoba. He'll get silenced. And speaking of silence, takes also silence. He's getting low on health, but he's able to warp out.
Yeah, Nick is just kidding. I still got my cooldown, boys. I'm fine. No, he's able to get out of this one, but of course he has to be careful that it doesn't get interrupted.
Yeah.
If you time that perfectly, then you can interrupt warp, and that can definitely, or very quickly lead to a dead Phoenix. But for now, Nick is doing fine. We have both teams going for the camp as we're heading into the first Immortal phase, and level 4 talents are dropping into their hands. So already the camp of Method taken, and to the left side we see Diamond Skin doing the same thing. Thrall by now has completed the Echo of Elements, so been working hard to get those kills against the minion stacks, so that he doesn't only get an extra bounce, but also has at the same time now his second charge available, so it's time for poke.
Robodoba, again, taking first in the front line, but standing through. Chaos Rain's coming in there, so Quest Alarak has been in the build here for Diamond Skin, and they set up for defense, which is good. Remember, this is where Alarak can excel. If he's able to find a stun or push somebody into it, he can go for the kill. And actually, Arcana knew that. He dropped the Indomitable, and he'll be able to walk away. Almost taking a full combo from Rosmeg, though. Yeah. Able to survive, just barely.
Bloodthirst helping out there too, and of course also Curson, so keeping them in play. Good damage by Nick, and still Thrall at that top lane. Slight lead in experience for Diamond Skin. As a result, down here, they still have to deal with the camp though, but we have Method aggressively pushing towards that Immortal, and so far they're doing really decent damage with a poke. Nick still looking for an opening here, but they're trying to now switch positions, going up for against Nanda, and defending their own Immortal, whereas we still have the poke by Junkrat from a safe distance.
Junkrat keeping up with those constant grenades. Liming's trying to do the same here on her Immortal, but the protection, as we mentioned in the draft between Blaze and Garrosh, is able to kind of eat those. Rosmeg might be in trouble here, has to blink away. A Groundbreaker comes in. Arcana gets a little bit of damage on him.
Yeah, the poke is definitely a bit superior from Junkrat, and they're already trying to interrupt him. And in the meantime, we even have structures taken out up at the top. Nanda just doesn't have what it takes to keep those two at bay here. And the defense around Arcana and Curson is still solid, since Arcana has a displacement, and Curson with the silence is making it very difficult and awkward to move into him. But of course, we still see those combo attempts by Li Ming, as again, the commitment by Diamond Skin. They're trying to go in here. Here comes Alarak trying to move for Nick, but the silence as Stukov is delivering it right away. And now Darkmok is in trouble. Alarak goes down, first blood in the game.
Nick able to Kai as well and bring up that damage. Finally getting some heals too. Should be having the shield come up pretty soon. So we should have Method run over and finish up this halftime show on the Immortal. And it looks like they'll just do just that as Nick heads over. Arcana finds a Thrall floating around. He'll go straight for him. And Nande gets mocked up by Shwimpy and is able to get Nande actually saved as he gets to a safe corner.
Yeah, but it again shows, I mean, the really problematic thing here on the side of Diamond Skin is that with all the displacement, it's very difficult for them to continuously stay safe here. And also to have like a good formation. Here, the same thing again. They're jumping immediately on Malfurion, and this time we're actually seeing Curson being spot on with the silence, and they get the kill. They're trying to go for another one, but they have to also attempt to keep Arcana alive, and that's going to be tricky in itself. Barely there, thanks to the bounces that we have on the Crash Lightning. But yeah, that was rough.
That was rough, but he's able to survive. Arcana also doing a really smart thing there. With the Immortal Stone coming out, we had Diamond Skin step up, as they thought that maybe perhaps someone will get stuck in there in the Immortal Stone, but he's Indomitable to walk up and was able to get that Malfurion. A Thorough comes in with a big jet propulsion, walking down 2 people. Robodoba's low, and so is Darkmok. A Thorough continuing to chase here, gets a little bit of a slow, brings out some damage, but here comes Nick trying to get the kill on Rosmeg. He won't do it, but you know who will? Curson with the silence.
Yeah, Rosmeg gets deleted here. And it nearly also, of course, killed the front line. So we have Johanna falling, Li Ming died, Alarak barely survived, and now it is a pretty big pressure play that we're seeing from Method, a team that has already taken a 1-level lead, 4 kills against 0. I'm having flashbacks to Infernal Shrines.
Yeah. Method completely destroying these team fights, but Diamond Skin still holding in. They have some decent focus against this Immortal, but I am worried they're going to lose this fort, especially with how Method's all set up. Look at Shrimpy. He's put down the little concussive mine down here on the bottom left, so he's able to knock back anyone that may come in. Darkmok threatening with a little bit of lightning, but Method continuing to step forward and continues to break down this fort.
And also, Nick is getting mad stacks at this point on his level 1 talent. The advanced targeting is already at 36 stacks 6 minutes into the game. That is pretty respectable.
Arcana comes in and gets the toss on Darkmok, and he just gets deleted. Wolfjo may be next. Nick continues to kite. Nande in the back right could be in trouble too, as the Thorough comes in for the flank. Level 10 also connects. The Robodoba on the bottom has lost his Iron Skin, and he's trying to escape. Thrall also attempting to escape, but he gets taken out. Rosmeg down to 2 HP, and Shwimpy goes for the grenades, but Rosmeg is able to get behind a keep. But look at this. 4 members down for Diamond Skin. Method in a full 2-level lead, 3-level lead.
So you were worried about the fort dropping. They got a bit more than that.
Yeah?
I mean, This is getting ridiculous. 8 kills against 0 and a 3-level lead. They are picking up the kills wherever they want to. 42 stacks from Nick already on his advanced targeting. Again, that is crazy this early in the game. He's getting mad value out of all these Immortal fights thanks to the stacking that we're seeing on the side of Diamondskin. Them running 3 melee heroes doesn't make things any easier, of course. And with a heroic talent advantage and a 3-level stat advantage, they're just trying to push for keep here.
And Method staying methodical. He's pushing here down the bottom with the Night Camp, waiting for minions, poking where they can. Junkrat constantly spamming out those grenades. A huge heroic here from Nick, getting some decent damage out. Darkmox low on health, tries to kite away, drops down the lightning surge just to stay up. But the keep down to half health, it looks like it's about to go down. Yeah,
they're still going for it. And of course, at the same time, Arcana is trying to see if he can maybe get another throw in. Create some space. The keep has not fallen yet, but yeah, that damage output is getting insane. Arcana is still trying to see if he can, first of all, get a target here, but also surviving, and that might be a problem. Heals himself up for another second, but this time he actually goes down. Nick is trying to move away, gets the warp, and moves out here with 54 stacks. An insane amount.
Diamondskin looking for maybe another one. They want to get that 10. Going for a combo. Turret goes in, 10 does connect. Okay, so Diamondskin holds on to their keep. It's 8-1 in kills, but at least they have their heroics, and it comes at an important time too. With the Immortals about to spawn, at least now they can contest their opponent.
I am still really worried about the impact that Phoenix is going to have. So far, Phoenix in Europe hasn't really done a whole lot, and most of the time we're not seeing him as the main damage dealer. But to be honest, with how fast Nick is currently stacking his level 1 talent, this is a very different show that we're seeing here. 34,000 damage already from Phoenix, and Rosmic, as an example on Liming, has only 19k. They go in again. Shrimpy might fall, but already Malfurion is dead. Shrimpy dies, so it's a 1-for-1 for now, but Nick is just working in the damage at this point. Roba-Doba gets blown away by the Immortal, but Nick isn't even done yet. He's trying to go straight for Alarak, who's, by the way, the only survivor at this point, since everyone on Diamondskin has been taken apart. 12 kills against 2. Method is just slapping Diamondskin across the battleground.
I think Nick might be the best auto attack Phoenix I've seen so far. His stutter step has been great. Dodging wolves coming his way, willing to consistently move around Alarak, but also punishing and putting out the damage at the same time. In that fight, he dodged 2 forms of CC that came his way while also putting maximum damage on Malfurion.
Nick is definitely doing extremely well with the hero. I absolutely agree with you. We've seen only a very small sample of Phoenix play so far, but he is definitely one of the better ones, if not the best up to this point. Great play that we see from him, good stacking process, and that stacking really empowers the auto attacks. Like, he is getting a crazy amount of damage out compared to other Phoenix players that we have witnessed in Europe.
And look how far ahead Method is. Diamondskin is forced to come over and play defense, but the top lane is pushing in, the bottom lane is pushing in. Method, all they have to do here is just poke a little bit and not die. Or Diamondskin, on the other hand, have to force an issue, and Robo-Dobo goes in for an engage. Stutter step galore coming out from Nick as he puts him down to a quarter health. A Thorough is ready to go in for an engage. At the same time, Arcana on the back line.
And Arcana is just throwing them at will whenever he wants to. Finally, Phoenix goes down, but the counter kill against Thrall immediately happens. This time, we just saw the perfect silence coming out of Malfurion, and Nick just had no chance. But Malfurion gets punished immediately for his audacity of taking down Phoenix. Again, another quick save as Arcana throws Ethereal into the backline. And in the meantime, the camp at the top lane is already at the keep, and the camp at the bottom lane is about to drop the keep.
Diamondskin's about to lose 2 keeps just to night camps.
Yeah.
One on the top lane and one on the bottom lane. Thrall just now spawned, so he should be able to start to clear that out, but at least some damage has been done and gotten it low. If the Immortal is won by Method, and it's looking like they got an easy Immortal, that is definitely the 2 keeps. In fact, it might be a core.
I think if the Immortal is taken here, that this should be keep. I mean, look at the shield.
Yeah.
Sorry, not keep, that should be core. Down, so far no keep has fallen, but again, both of them are so low that they're basically not existent anymore.
Method setting up, thinking Diamondskin might try to come for a Hail Mary play and try to flank.
Nanda!
He's trying to get him demounted. He is demounted. He's able to run.
Run, Thrall, run.
So he's fine for now, but this gives time for Method to group up as 5 with the Immortal.
Yeah, and they're moving to the top lane now. And Thrall is still behind them. But what's he going to do? Just coming in from behind and dropping that Earthquake? I don't think that's going to do enough. They already see that he's coming. They know exactly where he is. And again, that keep basically doesn't exist. It's already gone. And they're throwing in Johanna. The immediate taunt coming out. The silence is there, and that's the kill. Johanna goes down. Thrall is trying to make a play here. But immediately, Nick is on the chase, getting his own ult in the salvo. Rosmic is down to half health. There's the bunker, and they're just zoning them out. At this point, Diamondskin is already losing the shields on the core, and they can't even try and defend.
Arcader is a bully to his Australian brother, man. Throwing him constantly. Johanna gets silenced once again, gets taken out. At the same time, though,
Oh
Diamond
my
Skin's
God.
trying to make a play, and they're going for Stukov. But look at the core.
Nick just dodged the silence of the Twilight Dream. They're going for the corner. Alarek is down, and that is gonna be game. Method with a 3-0 victory over Diamond Skin, making it look easy on Battlefield of Eternity.
So 2 big victories so far this season for Method. One over Zealots. We saw the Sumerial gameplay, and now they get one here today on Diamond Skin. So Method looking pretty clean, but where are they as a team? Was it Diamond Skin being a little bit off? Is it Method finally coming together? The synergy seemed to be a bit more apparent today.
Yeah, and look at Phoenix damage here, 53,000 damage. He ended the game with a very significant number of stacks as well. I think he was towards the end at 62. So really well done by Nick. Died once, but committed 6 kills to the end result here. So the normal build for him, no real deviations. Strong play.
Yeah, Nick, I think I'm confident in saying that was the best performance on Phoenix has seen so far.
Again, on the stacking, he had it a bit easier than other players because there was such a melee-heavy setup also on the opponent, so we have to throw that in too.
Sure.
But as you said, his hero control, just the stutter stepping, working in the auto attacks in between, just dodging the spells, his control today was absolutely on point.
Yeah, I think a lot of Phoenixes that we've been seeing have been using the AoE splash because they have that additional range, but Nick was not afraid to go into the other turret mode and try to burn people down. That's where a lot of that damage came from. So a lot to learn from Nick when it comes to the Phoenix gameplay. But again, Method getting a big victory over Diamond Skin, trying to make sure they stay in the spot here where they can continue to do well for the playoffs and have a solid spot over Trick Esports. So congratulations to them, and it looked good for it. I feel like Arcana came in and did well on that front line when it came to Warriors. Controlling that Johanna in particular was instrumental for them to get a victory.
It just felt that he could throw in players at will in that last game. He just walked up and tossed them in the back just continuously. And there was always a follow-up there. Very rough for Diamond Skin to get any kind of momentum in this game. So a 3-0 where Diamond Skin, to be fair, the only time where they didn't get dominated was on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
And now the question for me is, where is Phoenix as a hero? Is he strong? Is he shut down people? Is he weak? Like, so far we've gone through, what, 3 series, 4 series now? And I still don't have a full feeling for where he should be as a hero.
I mean, he's still with the 2 victories that we just saw, sub 50% win ratio. But yeah, we need to see a bit more Phoenix play to actually judge him. But he's definitely far from being this OP hero that everybody was afraid he would be. And this is pre-nerfs.
He's getting some nerfs, man. Well, let's go over to Schwimpy here, who is ready for Team Method. Schwimpy, your team gets a 3-0 victory today, and I'm going to come out with a hard-hitting question, man. It seemed like in your interview initially, you seemed a little demoralized, a little bit sad. Are you feeling a little bit happier with this victory today?
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
If you don't know, who does?
Yeah, I mean, I'm asking you because you're the one that's experiencing these feelings. You know, touch your heart. Is it beating? Are you happy? Are you alive?
He doesn't have feelings. He's secretly German.
They played pretty poorly, so I'm not sure if we can take so much credit, but sure.
Okay, Schwimpy.
I'm happy.
Well, let's go ahead and build up a little bit more on that. You mentioned that your team may have played a little bit poorly today. Are you guys still working on your synergy a little bit? Is it more of drafting? Where are your issues for you as a team to try and hammer out before we get to the playoffs?
I think we have issues in most areas. Drafting is for sure an issue, which I'm trying to improve, but it's going slower than I expected. And then synergy is probably the main issue. Yeah.
All right. Well, Schwimpy, don't get so down on yourself, man. You guys played well today. Use this as a positivity. Continue to improve, and I'll send you over to Caldor.
I just wanted to pick up on what you just talked about the drafting and how you feel this is still a bit of an issue for you and how you're trying to improve on that point. With Phoenix now coming in, he has started to drop in priority for a lot of the teams, but he's still shaking some of the drafting up. Do you think this is for you a new chance to maybe get on the same level as other teams when it comes to drafting? And also, where do you see Phoenix at this point?
I think for sure this meta is better for us than last one. I was struggling really hard in the last meta to draft actually, but with Phoenix coming in and there's like, I mean, we as a team like him fairly much. You know, put Nick on him and Phoenix is strong. So yeah, I think the drafting right now is fitting us much better. And Phoenix, I don't think he's first pick, but he's for sure one of the top assassins right now.
Why do you think other teams struggle so much with him right now? We talked during the commentary here also a lot about Nick. He seems to be really on point with just weaving the outer attacks in. He is doing well with the stutter stepping, always dodging, so he seems to have a good handle on the hero. Is that what it comes down to, or do you feel other teams are currently just misplaying Phoenix or using him in the wrong drafts?
I think Phoenix was picked early instead of when it's actually good in many of the games. Like they just first pick it and you lose a lot from it, and therefore the win rate is lower than it should have been. I think it should be a win rate over 50%, but people just overvalued it a bit too much, and I think picking him in the 2-3 in the first pick is much more valuable than first picking him.
One last question with Phoenix, because we've seen in Europe a very core playstyle. The build is pretty much hammered out. We have a little bit of deviation on level 4, on level 16. Outside of that, the build is pretty much solidified. But we have seen in North America a lot of around wombo combos, trying to, with ETC, for example, establish a mosh pit and then follow it up with Planet Cracker. Is there something where within Europe you feel that Planet Cracker is actually an option as an heroic ability, or do you just think that from the European meta, it's not really going to be useful?
I want to flame NA right now, but I lost to them, so I can't.
So you feel that
what I want to say is their wombo combos wouldn't work in EU, but then again I lost, so never lucky.
Okay, so but you think in Europe it's very unlikely that we're going to see those wombo combos at this point?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the playoffs, Tim talked a little bit about earlier how you guys talked about you have to find your rhythm. You have still a bit of time before the playoffs actually start. You have already a spot in the playoffs. What are your expectations for the players? Do you think that with Team Liquid now gaining a bit more momentum, but Zealots all of a sudden showing some weakness, that you guys have a chance to make it to the mid-season brawl? Or do you think that there's still too much work ahead of you guys before you can contest, let's say, Team Liquid?
I think we can contest Liquid and Zealots fairly good. I mean, I think we had the roughest schedule in HGC. Like we faced Fnatic Dignitas one weekend, and then Zealots Liquid the other same weekend. And I think if we had Liquid on a solo weekend, I think we would actually have a much better shot at winning them. So I'm not too concerned, but for sure they're a good team right now and they're looking strong. But I think we have a pretty good chance of qualifying.
All right, thank you very much.
So a couple final questions before I let you go. What's the game plan as you prepare for next Friday? You'll be facing off against Trek Esport, which is currently a direct competitor for you guys. What are you going to do all week to make sure you're ready?
I guess we play video games. Play some more video games. Nothing special. Just a normal weekend or week.
Well, we look forward to your matches, man. Thank you so much for putting on a good show today. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Shoutouts are yours, though, before I let you go.
Shout out to Mom, Dad, friend, another friend, and Kaldor.
Perfect shout-outs there. Thank you so much, Wimpy, for your time. Huge congratulations as Method gets a victory today. A nice 3-0 over Diamond Skin. And we'll see him next week on Friday as they take on Trick Esport.
Yeah. I'm not worried that I'm not a friend.
I'm worried I was left out of that shout-out. I'm just saying, man. Feelings are kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah, we have to.
Let's look at the expanded standings. I can't be off camera anymore. I can't.
Can we just bring you... Every single time something like this happens to me, I'm ending up on a single. Happens to you and we're going to the standings. Like something's wrong here. I detect bias on the side of our producer.
Now, big steps here. As Method and Team Liquid gets victories today, you see them go up a little bit, and Zealots go down with their loss. Method actually moving up with a +6 over Zealots. Pretty exciting stuff.
Now again, we're coming back to the same notion. If Fnatic takes a victory against Leftovers tomorrow, they are qualified.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. If Fnatic loses, then it comes down to the series between Liquid and Fnatic, but just the map score is so heavily in Fnatic's favor that it's very difficult for Team Liquid or any other team to catch up with that. But of course, the playoffs alone are going to be super exciting, as we just saw from this weekend's games already. And I mean, we're not even done. It's only Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow we have more matches coming your way. And if you're a Team Liquid fan, make sure you're sending over good vibes over to Leftovers if you want them to have a chance to be a direct shoe-in for the MSB, as we have Team Liquid versus Fnatic next week. So we're going to finish this weekend, week 10, with a pretty big bang in terms of matches. Let's go ahead and check out the schedule for tomorrow, though, as our Sunday